So over the weekend, I always talk about the earnings that are coming out for the week that we should talk about, we should watch. And two of them came out today. One of them we're going to talk about in detail, but we will get a shout out to the other one as well. And the one we're going to talk about is Netflix. Netflix is an important stock for us because we need to ask ourselves a couple of questions. First and foremost, if you haven't seen Netflix earnings, they were a miss. They hit the revenue number, but missed the net income by a wide margin. And most importantly, their new subscriber, or I should say net subscriber count, was significantly below expectations. And that's the number that you and I have to think about when we are going to be trading other richly valued stay-at-home stocks. Think Peloton, think Amazon, think you know what the stocks are. So here's the deal. Netflix comes out, identifies that their net subscriber growth is a miss and a huge miss, only up 2.2 million, where 50% of that roughly was in Asia. It does show that Japan and India are growing, which are huge focus for them, but it really shows a miss in North America. So for me, as we talked about over the weekend, and I actually said this, you can go back and look at the daily news. I think it was the 19th. It might have been the 18th. I'm not sure if it was Saturday or Sunday. But I talked about, is the cuties controversy going to show up in Netflix numbers? So there are really only two explanations that I can think of, and I've been thinking about this for an hour now after looking at their earnings, is one, the Cuties controversy, which was a movie, if you don't know, that caused, at least based on my Facebook feed and other mediums, to cause a lot of people to dump Netflix. And a lot of that was in North America. In fact, probably most of my feed is North America. So that may have had a huge impact. And if that's the case, Netflix will learn its lesson. It won't make that mistake again. And then hopefully North America will come back for them going forward, right? They create the next hot must-watch show. 6-9 months from now, people will forget about why they canceled and they'll be back. However, there is another explanation, which is market moving. The Cuties controversy is a stock issue, right? It has dented Netflix subscriber growth, net subscriber growth, which hurts earnings, which hurts all of that. However, it is possible, and this was actually in their statements. I have not seen anything, and I've read 5 or 6 articles now, where they highlighted Cuties and North America. I didn't see any of that, but that doesn't mean it's not there. What they did allude to is the first 2 quarters of the year, they pulled a lot of demand forward. Now that's market moving. Think Peloton as just an example. What Netflix is saying is when the pandemic started, lots of people signed up because they knew they were going to be at home and they wanted to Netflix. Think about Peloton. Lots of people signed up early. And now what Netflix is saying is, man, people are getting tired of being home. They're just getting tired. So all that demand they pull forward, of course, they're going to have a couple of air pockets for this quarter and likely next. They did come out and highlight that their content schedule is not going to be impacted, which is a good thing because if you lose content, you're going to really dent subscriber growth. So this is what we have to figure out. I'm not in stocks. I won't be in stocks unless the market's down 50%. But I watch stocks because it really shows where the consumers are. So if you're trading Netflix, I think you have to ask yourself, do we have a story stock issue, i.e. Netflix created something that caused a revolt by millions of Americans and they dumped Netflix? Possible. Or do we have a larger trend and what was reported in Netflix will be reported by other stay-at-home stocks that pulled forward huge mountains of demand and they're all about to have a couple of weak quarters as we revolt from staying home? That's going to be a big deal. If you bet wrong on this, there are going to be people that lose or make a lot of money based on that decision. I don't know what the right answer is, I probably think it's a little bit of both. But again, this is something we talked about over the weekend. This is something that I thought warranted an evening discussion because, again, the daily financial news every day. And we talked about Netflix and the importance of Netflix on Saturday or Sunday. We even highlighted what's going to happen to subscribers. And lo and behold, Tuesday, boom, we nailed it. The other company I said was coming out today, we might as well give a shout out to, was Snap. We highlighted Snap coming out, and they actually came out on a surprise profit. Yes, Snap was able to put to a quarter together where they recognized a penny of profit per share. Expectations, I think, were for negative 5 cents, so they beat by 6 cents. They actually flipped it from negative to positive. I only read one earnings kind of summary on it. Basically, they alluded to or hinted that they had a pretty good quarter because of the Facebook boycott, if you remember that way back when. Snap was a recipient of a lot of that marketing or advertising dollars. Think that was very front-loaded for the quarter. Think month one. So it may not be a quarter that can be repeated. But boy, I promise you, when they were sitting down and looking at their quarterly numbers and they had a chance at turning a profit, they did everything they could to turn a profit. So we will see. It'll be interesting. But again, Netflix missed. Snap beat. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Take care. Remember, daily financial news live 7:30 a.m. Pacific every day. Subscribe, notify, thumbs up. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.